Welcome to your 2023 Pilates program. My name is Melanie, your mildly goth Pilates instructor, and today we're going to be doing a Pilates Reformer workout for total body. So load on one red and one blue spring, or one heavy and one light spring. Turn around to face the headrest and meet me on the carriage. With your feet on the headrest, you're going to reach forward, grab the straps in front of you. Make sure you've got about a hand distance of space behind your butt and the back edge of the mat. I'm going to thread my hands through the loops, hold on to the ropes above the hardware, and I'm going to sit up really tall, or as tall as I can in this position. So we're going to squeeze the inner thighs together, try to get as much curve out of the lumbar spine as our mobility will allow. Shoulders roll back, arms long. I'm going to take a big breath in, exhale, curl under with the spine, find that roll back, so that deep C curve. Belly button is scooping in and up. Big breath in, exhale. Keep that curve as you sit up and then roll up, stack the spine really tall. So each time we're going to find this really tall seated position. Big breath in, exhale. Curl the pelvis under. Shoulders are not collapsing and they're still rolled back, even though I'm finding this big curve. Exhale. Curl up. Sit up really tall. So I'm finding that articulation through the spine, rolling down one vertebra at a time. I'm trying to find that low point where the abs start to feel a little shaky, hopefully, even though this is our warm-up. And as I articulate that spine, the abdominals are really forced to fire on and help support this movement. Seems slow and kind of plodding, but actually a really good exercise for abdominals, particularly that really deep layer of your core. Good. Let's take one more. And roll on up. Good, we can continue now. If you want to take one leg to tabletop as we roll down, you're welcome to do that. If you've been doing my Pilates program to date, this may look really familiar. Good, we're going to keep that leg up, go for 4 on this side, and we're going to start to build on this sequence. Good, sitting up as tall as you can. You might have a little more curve in your spine as you come up on this one, that's fine. Just taking care to relax the shoulders, keep them tucked into your back pockets, the shoulder blades that is. Last one on this side. Good. Place the foot down, sit up a little taller maybe. Find your scoop, left leg comes to tabletop. We keep this roll down. We're going to do 4 of these and then move on to obliques next. Good, sitting up really tall. I'm definitely feeling a lot of ab engagement. Keeping that scoop, ribs are coming down even as we hit that low point here at the bottom. Taking care not to let the shoulders melt inward. Collarbone is not collapsing, it's rolling wide. Last one here. And sit up nice and tall. Foot goes down on the headrest. Now we're going to reset and go for obliques. If you need to regrip the ropes to give your hands a break, feel free to do that. And what we're going to do is we're going to tilt to the side. So the right hand is going to go up slightly. I'm going to find that roll back once more, finding that deep curve. This time the shoulders rolling back, but I'm twisting or tilting to the left side. Exhale. Roll up, keeping the pelvis steady. Come back to center. Twist to the opposite side. Left hand goes up, shoulders down. Pelvis, both bones. Sits bones really heavy on the mat. Roll up. Find center, alternating sides. Twist to the left. Find that curve. You're still articulating through the spine, even though you're rolling down on this diagonal. And hopefully you should be feeling a little bit of intensity on the obliques, particularly on whichever side you're tilted towards. If you need to reset to sit up nice and straight, you're welcome to do that. I just did, that's fine. You're going to tilt and keep going for 3 more sets each side, finding that deep curve each time. Exhale as you sit up, switch. Once again, just as we did in roll back, think about rolling up one vertebra at a time. That's really going to give you all of that abdominal engagement while we're here. After this, we're going to move on to some arms and back. Switching sides. It's really easy, particularly on that top hand, to let the shoulder kind of drift up toward the ear. Just think about every time you hit each mark, you're thinking about the shoulders rolling back, and your shoulder blades tucking into your back pockets behind you. Twist, Zipping the belly button in and up like you're trying to fit into a really tight pair of jeans. Shoulders down. Exhale, bring it up. And those are spicy but good, huh? All right, release the straps. We're going to move on to our next sequence. All right, flipping on to one red and one yellow, otherwise known as one heavy or one heavy and one extra light. I'm going to come to kneeling on the machine with my knees up against the shoulder blocks. I'm going to keep that choked up position on the rope. So I like to thread my hands through the straps, hold on to the ropes above the hardware. I'm going to sit on my butt for this one. Spine in a nice neutral position, so I'm not rocking the pelvis under and curling in the lumbar spine. I'm also not popping the rib cage forward or letting my back extend back behind me. I'm just going to begin nice and simple, pulling the arms straight behind me for a chest expansion. So you'll see I kind of popped into back extension. That's not what we want, so that's a nasty habit of mine. Oh, an unfortunate habit of mine. We won't call it nasty. It's very normal. You also want to think about the ears tucking back. So you're almost making like a, kind of like backing up the car is the metaphor I've learned that I like. That helps keep your neck nice and long. And oh boy, I'm out of practice on these. These are feeling pretty spicy. Am I on the right springs? Yeah, no, I just got weak over the holidays. Here we go. All right, we're in it together. So every time you press back, you want to take care to make sure the rib cage doesn't pop out. You want to exhale, squeeze the abs, and think about the shoulder blades meeting down and together in the back. We're going to hold there, look over your right shoulder, shoulders back, back to center, look over your left shoulder, and bring it back. Very nice. Now we're going to go to our next exercise. All right, next I'm going to curl the toes under and sit on my heels to give myself a little more support. We're going to go into triceps. So here I want to keep that neutral position, so I'm not curled under in the pelvis, I'm not arched back. I'm going to hinge back on my hips. I'm going to push the hands back here, and I'm going to bend and extend the elbows. So I really want the elbows to stay pretty tight to the body. I'm not letting them come out. And I'm going to bend and extend. Inhaling as the hands come forward, exhaling as they go back. The red spring might be kind of aggressive for several of us, me included right now. You're welcome to bring that down to a blue spring or a light spring if the heavy is a little too much. I'm going to keep it with the heavy resistance going for strength building today. I'm going to take 3 more. Exhale. This is 2 and 1. Good. Nice effort, everybody. Bend the elbows, close the carriage, releasing the straps just a little bit. Grab both straps in one hand. We're going to turn around to go to the opposite side. So for this one, try not to move the carriage like I just did. You're welcome to sit either on your butt or on your heels. I'm going to go for a cross-legged position today. If you sit on your heels, you might get a little bit more resistance added. That's not the vibe I want right now. And if you feel like this cross-legged position is a little too much for you, you can sit on a yoga block or a pillow. That's another good choice for you too. So hands down by your sides or down by the sides of the machine, depending on which position you're in. Bring your shoulders over your hips. Once again, don't find that banana-shaped spine. That's what we want to fight. Get out of your lumbar spine. Big breath in. Arms press up toward your shoulder height. Inhale. Bring it back down to starting. If you find that this is a little too light, you could also add a yellow spring or an extra light spring. Your gaze is forward, not too low, not too high. You want a nice long spine. And for this one, you also want to make sure you're not collapsing through the upper back. You want a nice neutral spine here, nothing out of whack, okay? And we're gonna exhale as the palms go forward, inhale as they go down. So again, if you're in this cross-legged position, this stance with the hands is going to be a little bit wider. That's completely fine. But if you're on your knees or resting with your hips on your heels or your butt on your heels, try to keep the hands so that they brush the sides of your thighs as they come up. Good. We're going to pause at the top here. We're going to take tiny circles to the outside. The goal here, these should just probably be about the size of a small ball. Palms will be flipped to face forward. Again, I'm not curving through the spine, keeping that torso really steady and still. This is going to be a really small motion of the carriage, and I really don't want to let the torso rock with the hands. Your goal is to use your core to stabilize as the hand movement is happening. Let's reverse. Good. Still really small. Make sure you're not rounding through your low back. Think about someone pulling a string up through your head, up to the ceiling. 3 more. and down. Lower the arms, take a breath, roll the shoulders back, shake out the arms. We're gonna do a little bit more arm work while we're here. So, arms long by your sides. We're gonna press the hands up towards shoulder height or around there. We're gonna bend the elbows in, extend them out for serve a tray. Bend in and extend out. We're going for 8, so that means you have 6 more. Stabilizing through your core. Once again, check your lumbar spine, make sure you're not rounding or extending the upper torso back. You want a really stacked, neutral spine. That's kind of the unofficial goal of class today. Oh, it should be the goal of your life. Oh, let's be real, we all slouch. I slouch too. Okay, 3 more. Last 2. Taking care not to collapse the shoulders as the hands go forward. And 1, lower the arms straight down. Relax the straps, sit down by your sides. We're gonna finish up with 1 last exercise. All right, my friends, let's switch to 2 red springs or 2 heavy springs. Headrest is gonna still be down. You're gonna come to lying down flat on the machine. We're gonna finish up with some bridges. So make sure your straps and ropes are out of the way, whatever that feels for your machine. Feet will come to parallel arches of the feet on the foot bar, or if it's a better choice for you, bring the feet down to the sandpaper, totally fine, whatever makes sense for you. Arms could be long by your sides or up over your shoulders, depending on what feels best for your body. I'm gonna go for long by my sides for a little more support. I'm gonna take a big breath in, exhale, I'm gonna curve the spine under, roll up to a bridge position, trying to take care not to move the carriage, and I'm gonna roll back down, melting the spine down 1 vertebra at a time. So if you've got your arms long by your sides, take care to make sure you're not gripping onto that mat. Find a neutral spine. Big breath in, reaching the fingertips long, pressing the palms down, melting that spine, or peeling that spine up till you find your diagonal line. Hips, knees to shoulders. Big breath in, exhale. Roll it down, trying to keep that carriage as still as you can. It's really hard. Good, and let's continue. Feet as relaxed as you can get them. Big breath in, exhale, roll it up. Find your bridge. We're gonna pause there. We're gonna straighten out the legs or extend them long, keeping the butt high. Think about the knees and hips traveling on an upward diagonal to bring it home. Softly close the carriage. Good, continuing this on. Core is staying on and fired. Good. Taking care to make sure your ribs aren't popping. That's going to really put a lot of pressure on your low back, your lumbar spine. You also want to think about your knees and toes tracking with one another. So if you feel like your toes are starting to turn out, try to keep them pointing forward. Same goes for your knees. Should hopefully be feeling quite a bit in your hamstrings, maybe even your glutes here. Good. 2 more. And then we're going to go for our small pulses once we get back up to our starting position. So just bring that carriage to a close, or almost. We're going to hold here, lift the butt up and down, squeezing the glutes. We're going to go for 8, 7, 6, takes a lot of control, 5, abs are still on, 4, 3, 2, 1, big breath in. Lift it up high, close the carriage if it moved away. Roll the spine down 1 vertebra at a time. Good. Hug your knees in toward your chest. Take a big breath, exhale. Rock your head side to side. Place your hands onto your knees. We're just going to take little circles with the hips. Opening the knees, bringing them down, around, and together. Good. Once you've done 3, let's reverse directions. Good. Once you've done 3 in this direction, I'm going to take a quick figure 4 stretch, crossing the left ankle over the right knee. Grab onto your thigh behind the right hamstring. You can just pull that leg in toward your chest. You can press away on that left thigh with your left arm if that feels good. Give yourself a little bit of a stretch out. Right foot goes down to the foot bar. Raise your left leg up. If you need to hold on to the back of your thigh, that's great, or the back of your left calf. Give yourself a little bit of a pulse in toward the body. Let's go for the other side. Right ankle crosses over the left knee. You're going to grab onto your left thigh and give yourself a little bit of a press away on that right thigh with your right arm. If you like to, you can pull the leg in toward your body if that feels good. Right foot anchors down on the foot bar, left leg extends up, hand behind either the thigh or behind the calf, or even the ankle if you're that flexy. So good for you. Big breath in, exhale, pull it in. Oh, give it a little pulse. And release. Carefully, slowly sit up with control. And you did it. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos to support you in your fitness journey for 2023. And thank you so much. Can't wait to see you again soon.